So that turned out pretty good. I'm going to do a video on what I do. As you can see, the M is missing. So to get them on straight, the piece of tape is barely on there, and you don't want to stretch the tape or pull the tape. You take a piece off bigger than you need and then, just rip it. And basically that gives you a straight line. Now this isn't too bad. You can see how the A is slightly taller, because they've been on and off before, but within reason, when you're standing normal, you wouldn't see that. So what I did is I went a little tight to the R and a little loose on the A on that side, and you can see on this side where the A kind of dips down. But I mean, it's pretty much a straight line. So what I did after that is I went to the other side, and between the A and the M on the other side, this little gap in here, I took a little piece of paper, I put 2 dots on it, and then you can see where I added a dot right there. So that, I mean, you can get measuring tools and all kinds of crazy stuff going on. So the old black nasty stuff was still on the back, and then you could see where it had been painted before, and someone just put like some kind of glue, and the M was kind of crooked, but when we touched it, it was all falling off. So we cleaned it all right down to clean chrome, used the cleaner to fix it, or clean it, I mean, and then we put the double-sided, and don't get the cheap, say, Canadian Tire Walmart stuff. Get the good stuff from your automotive store. I'm going to set this here for a second. Now the hard part is getting these off because I cut my fingernails. So there's that. Now if you have a sticker like this on something you're putting on a vehicle, in this case there's 4 pieces because there's 2 strips of tape and you got to cut it out. So what I do is I put the tape on too big, and then I basically just set it down on the table and cut this out with a glass cleaning razor blade. I've got lots of those around the shop all the time. Right, so now you have, and I mean, that's everywhere. And the nice thing about having don't just put dabs, because sand and dirt gets in there, water, it freezes, and it'll come loose over time. So if you're going to do it right. I think this is probably the best way. Now the decals on the tailgate, or the emblems I should say, when I put those on, whatever stuff was behind it was super healthy, so I cleaned the hell out of it, and I used a 3M adhesive, trim and part adhesive, whatever it's called. I'm just going to put the corner above the dot. And I don't know if you saw that at the end, but like you can move it for a second, right? Like it looks like it could be a little bit higher. And then I'm going to push it right into the fresh paint. When I say fresh, it was painted last night, so it's, you can touch it now. It's not going to hurt it. But, be gentle anyways. And I mean, you'd think that the glue would stick better to the paint being soft, right? Because, it's still cured and doing whatever. I don't know. But I've never had an issue. This is how I do it. Dry. As long as it's not tacky. Like this clear coat, I think it says 12 hours or 16 hours. It's been that, so. So there it is. That's how I line those up. And I don't know if you saw the other videos or not, but that one's a guesstimate because you can't tell if it's straight or not straight. I think we're okay. At first I thought it was a little bit to the left, but then when I measured from edge and edge of the tailgate, it was right on. So that's weird, but that's okay. And then these, we had to take them all off. This is a brand new tailgate. So we peeled all the emblems off the old tailgate, and then we epoxy primed and then repainted this brand new aftermarket tailgate. Hey, there I am in the background. So what I do for these, when it's something old, I'll run a piece of tape underneath something flat like this, right across to the edge, and then I'll run sometimes, anyway, I'd have to show some pictures. I'll have to show that next time. But what I do is I measure from the edge to say that tip, and I write it right on the tape. Now in the case, sometimes what I'll do if I'm going to sand everything, I'll take a Sharpie, and you'll see I'll have a measurement right here to the tip of the 4, and I'll just write on there whatever that is, from this tip to here, from this tip to here, the height, you know, under the red, and then this, like I'll do lines. And anyway, so I draw the measurements with the Sharpie right on the part, and then I take a bunch of pictures. So later, they're in my phone somewhere, right? So it's not hard to find. And again, I have a feeling when they were putting these on at the factory, I don't know if a machine does it or if it's just probably some guy and he's probably got it stuck with something on the back and something on the front. He peels it off, goes more or less to the edge, more or less to the line, and just sticks it on, right? Like, they're not taking time on this stuff. They found ways to go fast. So anyway, I don't know if that was helpful or not, but you know, I've gone to some of the car shows and stuff, and I mean, this is a road truck, but you know, I do a lot of car shows, and basically sometimes people put emblems on and they're kind of willy-nilly and all over the place. Especially if you get something like this car, these older Mopars, like from, I know I was looking into the darts and where they put the stripes, the emblems and all that move around every other year, and where do they go, right? So anyways, not a big deal, but it is kind of good to know. So that's a trick I use. No fancy measuring, just a folded piece of paper with an edge. You know, that looks great. You can see how the front of the A is slightly tipped up. But I mean, I got to really stare at it to see it. So, and I mean, I could have took the A off and corrected it, because we basically taped around the letters and left them right where they were. If they start to get loose, you can always glue them back on. A friend of mine has a big private junkyard full of these trucks, so if I lose a part for one of these, I just go grab one. He's going to have many, right? So, and I mean, you can buy the stuff brand new with the adhesive tape already on the back. So anyway, thanks.